Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies. I'm Sir. Today we're looking at Cocaine Bear, which came out in 2023. So yeah, this movie is about a bear geeking out on cocaine. That's all there is to it, but it's pretty damn great. I really fuck with this movie. I mean, it's a really great one. I mean, I really do like this shit like that. So yeah, the acting is pretty good gore effects and everything, and I like how it looks too. It looks pretty damn outstanding and shit. So yeah, let's get to the kills. Movie begins with a guy busting up a door so he can throw some illegal shit out of a plane. So yeah, anyway, he does that and shit like that. And I don't know why he has that much drugs on him and shit, but anyway, yeah, though. Anyway, he does his little dancey dance and shit like that. So yeah, anyway, he gets ready to, jump out that bitch and shit like that. So yeah, I better hope he's a proper skydiver and shit, but he's not, because he get himself killed soon as he jump out that bitch. So yeah, but these two guys are just chilling on a rock and shit like that. So yeah, anyway, they going some damn hiking type of trip, I guess, and shit like that, so they can go have some fun or whatever. And they start making out and shit, cause couples gotta do that and shit. Anyway, they spy on some bear with some binoculars and shit, and they spot him and shit. But the bear, starts, doing some shit and all that type of shit. Then bro sees him and shit like that. So yeah, you guys better get the fuck up out. Anyway, as the bear is stepping up to them and shit, they better get on, because they're just staring, looking at him and shit like that. So yeah, anyway, the bear starts chasing them and shit, and I like how this chasing is shot and shit. It looks pretty great, all these good ass angles and shit like that. So yeah, the bear jumps over the dude that's just sitting on the ground right there, so he can jump on that bitch and shit. So yeah, anyway, they're just wrestling around in the fucking bushes and shit like that. So yeah, and her poor ass efforts, gets her killed and shit like that. So yeah, anyway, that guy's just sitting there watching that shit. So yeah, that guy's pretty damn stupid too. But we get a good ass title card, which looks pretty damn great. But yeah, though, anyway, bro starts fucking with a butterfly and shit, and then we got to these two pair detectives, I guess, and shit, and they're talking about this case and shit with these murders and shit, and I guess bro did it right there and shit like that. So yeah, we cut to this Ice Cube guy type of shit. Wait, bro walks over to that table and shit so he can talk about some important shit and shit like that. So yeah, anyway, this brother wakes her kid up for I don't know, school or some shit. So yeah, anyway, he tells her to get her ass up and shit like that. So yeah, and she starts bringing up her past affairs and shit and all that type of shit, and they all head out to go to school or whatever and shit like that. So yeah, the mom comes back from whatever the hell she was at and shit like that. So yeah, and she fucking whips her ass up, some shit in that damn cup and shit. Then she gets a call from the school telling her that her kids is missing and shit. Then they also find the damn waypoint or where they're at and shit and all that type of shit. Then bro and this sheriff over here just talking about some other shit I really don't know, to be honest. But anyway, the kids find, I don't know, some carrots or whatever they fucking had and shit like that. So yeah, anyway, that bitch finds some coke or whatever and shit, and they think, I don't know what they think right now, but yeah, but she pops that shit open so we can get this party started and shit like that. So yeah, anyway, she takes a bite of it and shit like that. So yeah, and she doesn't like it, I guess, and shit like that. So yeah, it affects them both when they start coughing and shit like that. So yeah, and then they come across that bear right there and shit, and they really don't think too much of it, so they just stand right there. Anyway, we got to Ice Cube, which I'm gonna call him and shit. So yeah, anyway, we got to back to that mom and shit, going to that sheriff place and shit, telling that her kids is missing and shit, and they all go out to find them and shit. So yeah, with this long ass shot and shit like that. So yeah, anyway, we cut to Ice Cube asking these group of people where the hell is the rest of that coke and shit, like where the hell did they find it. And they all get to start fighting and shit, and they beat the shit out of each other and shit. Really, Ice Cube is beating the shit out of them, really. So yeah, it's a very good fight scene and shit. I really fuck with it. The mom finds her kids sitting on top of a damn tree and shit, trying to get away from the bear and shit like that. So yeah, anyway, the fucking sheriff pulls out her gun and shit, and she doesn't notice the bear right behind her and shit. So yeah, anyway, it starts attacking bro because he has cocaine on him and shit. So he switches his target and shit like that. Then he fucks bro up to where the point he kills him and shit. So yeah, then bro tells his mom where his sister could be at and shit like that. So they go ahead and head on over there. Then the sheriff gets back to her place and shit. So yeah, trying to get away from that bear attack and shit like that. So yeah, anyway, the bear sits on her front door and shit. Then this fucking dumbass shoots that fucking guy, and the bear don't like that shit. So he goes creep on through the back and shit, where he grabs bro face, and we're gonna count him as a kill right here. there. So yeah, anyway, we cut to some rocks and shit like that. So yeah, anyway, we cut to these paramedics pulling up to the place and shit and all that type of shit. So yeah, anyway, they come in there, you know, with this fat ass body on the ground to where they can barely open the door and shit like that. So yeah, anyway, they all got attacked and shit, and the people don't know what the hell happened and shit. Then bro finds that motherfucking bear chilling in that closet and shit. So yeah, and the sheriff tells him there's a bear in that closet. So yeah, anyway, he busts out that damn door and shit, damn near killing that guy and shit. And then he somehow survived and shit, and you know, fucking goes on to the truck, and the bear fucking chases them with another good chase scene. Then bro leaps onto the truck or whatever, and then she falls out and shit. So yeah, that's pretty fucked up and shit. Anyway, you know, both of these paramedics crashed and killed themselves as well. So yeah. And that bear fucked all of them up. I see why he's so damn strong and shit. So yeah. Anyway, we cut to, you know, Ice Cube and shit, where he previously got his hand shot off by, you know, that guy sitting on top that roof and shit. Then bro grabs that gun or whatever and shit, and then he gets shot by, you know, that sniper guy and shit like that. So yeah, anyway, you know, the mom finds her, you know, her daughter or whatever and shit, and they, you know, they all start, you know, trying to get the hell out of there and shit. And I also add that body to the count as well and shit like that. So yeah, anyway, bro is currently getting attacked right now, and he gets thrown off that cliff, and then, you know, we come back and the movie's end with that good ass day. How many kills can a bear get out on cocaine? Let's find out. Let's get to the numbers. Only 11 people died in Cocaine Bear, so we didn't often this year with a bang, but you know what? It's a very respectable number. My list of victims included 7 men and 4 lady victims, so yeah, and you have that good ass pie chart right there. With a runtime of 95 minutes, that left us with a kill on average every 8.63 minutes. I'll give the Golden Chainsaw for coolest kill to that park ranger and the 2 paramedics, because that kill was pretty damn graphic. Dom Machete for lamest kill can go to the first kill I counted, because it's pretty bad. But that's it. This shit came out earlier this year, and it's pretty damn great. Next week, we'll be looking at Saw. But until next year, I'm Terrain. It's been a kill count. Thank you guys so much for watching this kill count and shit like that. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and stuff, and we had a great year. Honestly, this year was pretty damn great in growth and everything, especially views. On some videos they got like hella views and they keep on rising. So yeah, but thank you guys so much for supporting me this year and stuff like that. I can't wait to see where this goes next year. You good people.